What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Gary Numan, and we're returning to the 1981 album Dance. Luca is excited for this as well. Big shout out to Wayne, as well as to Han Solo, who's provided the Numan material up to this point, as well as Two Boy Army. But yeah, the next track on the playlist, or in the playlist, is Cry, the Clock Said, which it sounds like a phrase from a poem or some... what's the right phrase? A work of fiction, certainly, but yes, one that has kind of a classic storytelling and I suppose fantastical element, because clocks don't tend to speak, so yes, it feels a bit like Alice in Wonderland or something. Nevertheless, I will try to follow along to the degree I can on a first hearing. This is Gary Numan, the track is Cry, the Clock Said, and it's from his 1981 album Dance.
these little tract houses. I know the rest of you.
Number one, that was a very long track. This could be like 8-9 minutes. Almost 10, like literally just a couple seconds under 10. So yes, a lengthy journey, very atmospheric, and after like 3 minutes I assumed it was going to be an instrumental, but nope, Numan's voice still came. I don't think there's a whole lot in the way of lyrics, though at first it was like, wait, did he just say like, where am I? So it's like, you know, that just added to this mystical, sort of fantastical and unusual setting as my brain was seeing it. And yeah, like the sonic atmosphere for a Numan tune is relatively sparse. I mean, it's not like without any density, but definitely it's simpler than some of his tunes. It's slower than some of his tunes, and it almost felt like there's a point along the way where I was like, oh, you know, I mentioned like Alice in Wonderland, some fantastical story in my intro. It felt like it was like a nature documentary soundtrack in another dimension, in a like fantasy world, like Alice in Wonderland. So yeah, that was kind of the weird synthesis that my brain had. That like, oh, this could be background for like a nature documentary if I was looking at a world that was very unlike Earth. And yeah, I don't like the cyclical percussive scheme, which like went from the very first moment of the track to the very end. That did have a bit of a excuse me, clock sound. And it's funny, like there was a line in there, something about like choking. I forget exactly what it was, but I was like, yeah, that it came because I tried to drink tea and it went down my trachea instead. I almost died during that reaction. But yeah, like it felt like there was a bit of mystical or mysterious, maybe both type of vibe of the Sonics, but definitely I picked up on the clock rhythm of the percussion, but I don't know why the clock is saying to cry. Also, like it's notable, there was some bigger vocals, sung vocals, very much in Newman's style, but there were like spoken vocals, almost like he was like kind of talking to himself during the recording of the song. But I think like in character, I think it was the character, the narrator was thinking aloud and then also expressing more overtly singing some other moments. So yeah, really intriguing tune, and one that feels a bit anomalous, or at least distinct from a lot of what I've heard from Newman and his two-way army before that. So yeah, really curious one. I'm interested to know what you folks have to say about it. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you next time. Peace.